Okay, students, hello, how are you? Let me start off by apologizing. I'm dealing with like allergies or a cold or something like that there, so I'm just sniffing and kind of hacking, not to be TMI, but that's what's going on. So I do apologize for that. So if you hear that throughout the presentation, I do apologize. I did my due diligence to take medicines to try to calm down the symptoms, but well, we'll see. All right. However, changing gears, let's talk about the aorta. Okay, the aorta. All right. So as you already may know, that the aorta is the largest artery in the body, receives oxygenated blood from the left ventricle. So this is, of course, a very, very, very important portion of our circulatory system, the aorta. All right. All right. So some of our learning objectives that I would like to achieve today. All right. Just talking about the location and the purpose of the aorta, anatomical structures of aorta, including the branches, and anatomical structures that receive oxygenated blood from the aorta. All right, just a simple diagram of the heart. And so here is the aorta. Right here. All right, so this is the aorta. We call this the aortic arch here. Okay, so the aorta is actually going to be receiving blood from the left ventricle. So coming from the right ventricle, I'm sorry, from the left atrium, left ventricle, going to go through the tricuspid valves. All right, and I'm sorry, through the bicuspid valves, and then at that point, it's going to enter the aorta. Okay, and then the oxygenated blood will be distributed throughout the body by way of the aorta. Some of that blood will go to the upper extremities and the head, and some of that blood will kind of, as you see right here, kind of imagine behind it, you see the vessel right here, will be going, that's a part of the descending aorta, be going down towards the body to address the oxygen needs of the rest of the body, pretty much below the location of the heart. Okay, so the lower extremities, the GI tract, and some of the other organs that's associated with, or rather that's in the thoracic cavity. All right, so yet again, blood coming from the left ventricle, and as we talked about, left ventricle is the largest muscle in the heart because it has to have a huge contraction to, in a sense, jettison the blood through the aorta. All right, going through the aortic valve. All right, so this is again the aortic arch, and the aorta again, like I said, it will be branching out. Okay, going to different places. All right, throughout the body. So it's going here and going, say, this would be, say, maybe going, and I'll get more in detail with that, the brachial artery. This is the descending aorta going towards the bottom portion of the body. All right, so yet again, the branches of the aorta. All right, so the right subclavian, that takes blood to the right arm. All right, so it's going to actually ship blood from the aorta, taking blood to the right arm, bringing oxygenated blood to the right arm. The left subclavian artery. Subclavian is just basically just like the anatomical structure that's around right here. Okay, so underneath the clavicle, actually, subclavian takes blood to the left part of the arm. All right, and then you have the thoracic, internal thoracic aorta portion of the body. All right, so there's a bunch of different names here, and we'll touch on a number of them. Okay, so you have the pericardial branch here. So again, this is the aorta, yet again, descending part. You see these, I guess, so these are like the different branches that's coming off, all right, the aorta to provide oxygenated blood all throughout the body to meet the oxygen and nutrient needs of the different organs and tissues throughout the body, okay? So it's just, as you see, it's just branching off here. All right. So basically, the pericardial branch supplies oxygenated blood to the pericardium. And remember from the lecture last week, the pericardium is like the sac that the heart sits in. So that supplies blood to the pericardium, the sac, that outside membrane sac that the heart sits in. Superior phrenic artery supplies oxygenated blood to the diaphragm. So again, we're talking about oxygenated blood again, like we learned last week. All right. Bronchial, pretty easy just with the name itself. Bronchial, every time you think of bronchial, you think of lungs. Supplies lungs with oxygenated blood. All right. Esophageal supplies the esophagus with blood. And the subcostal artery that's below the rib cage. All right, and so again, like I said, it's just a number of branches actually that's supplying different areas of the body with oxygenated blood. All right, bifurcate, I believe that's an adjective. That simply means to divide into two branches. So as you see here, just like this river, it was one, divided into two. So we say that that this river that this is a bifurcate. I might grammatically be messing this up there, but basically, again, bifurcate is division into two. This highway, the highway bifurcates. Okay, all right. So basically, an adjective describing a noun. So the river bifurcates, the highway bifurcates. And someone might pronounce it bifurcate. I mean, I think I've heard it both ways. So bifurcate or bifurcate. Maybe bifurcate might be the actual word. I don't know. It's one of those pronunciation type of things. So, and then I think like the noun, all right, bifurcation or bifurcation, bifurcation. This is actually a tree in my backyard. So I take a picture of it, just kind of apply the same concept there, and just different things here, right? And you see the bifurcation of my tree. All right, so some abdominal arteries. All right, so this is just the artery portion that's going through the abdominal area. Left gastric artery supplies blood to the stomach. Splenic artery supplies blood to the spleen. So again, yeah, so as I'm going over these, again, remember that, hey, to have knowledge about, yes, not only the anatomical structures, but basically, where the arteries, for instance, the left gastric artery, where is this artery taking the oxygenated blood to? All right, so again, in the learning objectives that I mentioned before, yes, you're going to learn about that, and you need to know where these branches of the arteries coming off the aorta, where are they taking the blood to? Where are they carrying it to? What part of the body are they going to carry it to? Oh, here we go. Bifurcation, all right, of the iliac vessels. Talk about that, splitting of the two. All right, here, a lot of things to be said here. So let's go through it. The iliac trunk, okay, arises from the descending aorta. So that goes through the diaphragm. So that's, yet again, the aorta. All right, so the aortic arch is superior, is further above, and then it's going down towards the latter, down towards the bottom part of the body. Common hepatic artery, blood to the liver. Gonodial, all right, arteries, simply blood to the gonads, or in other words, the organs that produce the testes in the ovaries. Okay. Phrenic artery, blood to the diaphragm. So again, that's arteries carrying blood to the diaphragm. Okay. Splenic artery. A lot of these just is self-explanatory. Okay. All right. Blood to the spleen. Left renal artery. All right. Blood to the kidneys. Just like you have a right renal artery, because you have two kidneys, of course. So you have to have your left renal artery and your right renal artery. Nonetheless, these arteries are supplying oxygenated blood to the kidneys. All right, superior mesenteric artery, blood to the GI tract, gastrointestinal tract. A lot of times, we abbreviate that with just saying the GI tract. Okay, and so that's the superior mesenteric and the inferior mesenteric artery. Again, providing blood to the GI tract. All right, again, like I said, the bifurcation here. All right, and then we talk about the right external iliac artery and the left, say, internal iliac artery. So you got the external bouncing off to the outside external, and then you talk about, the internal. Okay, that would be the left internal. That would be the right internal. Okay, so the external iliac artery provides the main blood supply to the legs. The internal actually supplies blood to the pelvic organs, gluteal regions, and the legs. All right. And it's just yet again another abdominal aorta. You see again the aorta. Actually, it's funny, just like right in front of the actually like the lumbar area here, just the vertebrae area. All right, and you have, say, the middle sacral artery supplies blood to the coxae, lumbar, vertebrae, and sacrum.